Hey guys, welcome back to Medical Coding with Blue. Today's episode is going to be the first part of a two-part. Okay, these are going to be study tips for medical coding students. Thank you for joining me today. I have been a medical coder for over 10 years. I love what I do, and I hope that by sharing my knowledge with you all, it will help you all in some way, whether you are a student or a veteran medical coder and you just need some extra advice. So before I begin, I hope you'll hit that thumbs up. I hope you'll subscribe. I hope you'll share this at the end if this helped you. And let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so the first thing you need to know, I'm going to preface this whole thing with this first thing first, okay? Only because I got like a bunch of emails from people who are trying to sit for the CBCS, the Certified Billing and Coding Specialist. I think that's what it's called. Here's the thing. If you want to be a medical coder, and this is not to bash anything or anyone, I am telling you guys what I know as facts that I have seen. I have been looking for job listings only because of show prep, okay? I'm not looking for a new job right now, but I've been looking for show prep. And I have yet to see one company that is looking for medical coders that is asking for this CBCS. Okay, I personally have I do not know anything about the NHA, I think it is. I don't know anything about it. All I know is if you are looking to become a medical coder, you need one of two association credentials, okay? You need either a HEMA, the American Health Information Management Association, or a credential from the American Academy of Professional Coders. One of the two, okay? And if you are looking to take this seriously, you need to seriously look at the credentials, the entry-level credentials, either through a HEMA or through AAPC. Now, if you are just barely starting out and you're interested and you're trying to get started in somehow, some way, and you want to get this, but you want to do it the cheapest possible way, both associations offer online medical coding programs. Although I will tell you right now, the coding basics course for AHIMA is under construction. So it is not available and you're not able to sign up currently as of this date, which is April, what are we on? April 10th? Yeah. April 10th, 2020. Okay, the site is not up right now. But if you check back in a couple of weeks, hopefully it'll be up. We'll see. If I find out anything sooner than that, I will let you guys know. AAPC has a lot of sales on their coding programs. So if you're interested in them, you can go to that website, and I'll be leaving both addresses for both associations down in the description box below. I will tell you this too. If you want my opinion or whatever, I will link another video that talks about which association do I recommend or what program do I recommend. And I'll just leave it there because I'm not going to go into it for this video. But here's the thing. All right. So, but yes, that was my thing on that. Like I said, if you're interested, check out both associations' entry-level credentials. For AHIMA, it is the CCA, the Certified Coding Associate. And for AAPC, it is a CPC, and it will have a -A, but it'll just say like CPC. The A stands for apprentice, and this just says you're brand new to the field and that you don't have experience just yet. Okay, so let's get into it. Now, these tips are tips that helped me when I first started. Now, I passed my certification exam the first try. It doesn't always happen for people, okay, for whatever reason, but you have to study hard. These exams are not easy to pass, and they're not easy to pass for a reason, okay? I will say this about AAPC. AAPC has a wonderful grassroots network of instructors, AAPC approved instructors that will give you classes for the CPC prep, okay? So if you're going to be taking the CPC, there are those. So I would look in your area to see who's offering a class. I know right now it's probably going to be a virtual class, but every person charges a different amount. I've seen some charge as low as $5 for their day of prep, and it's like a one day, maybe a few hours program. And I've seen some people charge up to $100. You know, it just depends on what they're doing. Now, I will say this also about that. AAPC even says they don't know what that person is going to present. Okay, so they can't vouch for the quality of the instruction that you're going to get. Okay, so it's all going to depend on who's giving you the prep. You can do a lot of prep on your own. I will tell you that I did not go through any prep programs as far as like a day of prep or whatever for the particular credential exam that I'm sitting for. I did not do that. I didn't even know that was even possible. I literally studied and worked my butt off in order to be able to pass this. But with any credential, whether you're going to go for the CCA or the CPC, there are study prep guides, study exam prep guides, okay? You can look on eBay, Amazon. You can go to the website. I believe AAPC's exam prep book is like $99, 99 something, almost like $100. So, I mean, if you're interested in that, check it out. Now, you can, when you're practicing and you're trying to look for resources to help you practice, and just say, for instance, you're sitting for the CCA and you can't find a CCA book or whatever, look for other certification exam practice books. Basically, what you want to do is you want to get that practice. You want to get into that groove of those questions, okay? And however many questions that you have on that particular exam that you're going to be taking, then you need to keep that in mind. You need to drill on your time. I cannot stress this enough. When you are going to go for that exam, it is timed. Now, AAPC is 5 hours and 40 minutes. AHIMA is 4 hours flat. Period. Okay? So you really have to work on your speed, and you got to make sure that you are timing yourself. I have always recommended that when you do get your practice exam book, that you set yourself up in a scenario where there's going to be the 5 hours and 40 minutes or the 4 hours for the AHIMA credentials. You want to make sure that you set yourself up in an environment that is like a mock environment, and then you time yourself and you see how quickly you can get through this book and how quickly you're getting through the questions. And then when you grade yourself at the end, then you can see where you're lacking. And that right there will tell you where you have to study. If your problem is like the guidelines, or if your problem is that you, if you can't, you don't remember like the symbols, or if you don't remember the little quirky things like incidental to, or excludes one, excludes two notes. If you're having issues with those, then that's when you can get to writing those flashcards. Now, I'm a huge advocate for flashcards, and I've gotten emails like this whole week, Blue, why the flashcards? I don't want to do flashcards. I learned this other way. Guys, if you learn a particular way, then don't listen. You don't have to listen to me. I'm giving you my advice. You guys are asking me, so I am telling you what worked for me. I'm telling you what made me successful. And sometimes when people are telling you what makes them successful, and this is what you want to be a medical coder, right? Sometimes you just have to go with things. Don't fight it. Don't say, well, I don't know. No. Just go with it. Just sometimes you have to be willing to embrace things that you would not normally do in order to make yourself more productive and maybe grasp things a little bit more. You'll surprise yourself. If you keep doing the same things over and over and over again, right? And you're getting the same result, but you want a different result, whether it is learning more or passing your credential exam, then why don't you try things a different way? So this is why I tell you guys to be open to doing flashcards. And yeah, they may be a pain in the keister to be writing them out, but when you're writing stuff out, it commits stuff to memory. Much easier than it would be if you're sitting there on your phone just flipping and doing those kinds of things. Yes, it's nice to have an electronic version and then you can just sort of flip and look and things like that. But if you're trying to learn and you're trying to remember things, when you're writing stuff down, it's working with your brain and committing it to memory. So that's why I'm telling you guys, if you don't want to do it, then don't do it. But I'm telling you, this is what worked for me. This is what helped me. And it probably will help you if you try it. You have nothing to lose when you try it, right? And flashcards don't even have to be fancy. You can go to the Dollar Tree or the dollar store and get a pack of index cards. Boom, there you go. And then everybody's on quarantine right now. You're all with your families. Then have your kids give you practice. Say, hey, why don't you help me learn this stuff? There you go. Make it a game. I'm just saying, make it a game. Another way to make it a game is by going to those free crossword puzzle creators. That's another way. If you're studying with other coders, right, and you want to make it a game, you can create free word puzzles. They have them, and I'm not going to link any of them because there's so many. All you have to do is just put in the search engine free crossword puzzle maker, and it'll pop up. Then you can create questions, and then it'll make the little boxes for the answers and things like that. And then you can trade these puzzles with the people that you are working with, like in your little study group. So that way you can think and you can drill yourself that way too. It's all about doing the little things every day to try to help you to learn. Don't cram. That is a huge thing. Do not cram, whatever you do. You know why? Because your mind is going to seize up and you're not going to do very well if you're putting too much pressure on yourself. Set aside some time every single day to do your studying. Whether you start out at 30 minutes and you work up to 1 hour, just do that, okay? The more time you put into it, obviously, the better the results. However, you don't want to cram. That's the hugest thing right there is don't cram. I am going to be leaving some links. There's a video that I actually did called Recommended Websites for Medical Coders. I'm going to leave it probably at the end or maybe in the cards somewhere if I have time to do it right now, because when I upload it, it's already getting late, so I want to make sure that I get this done in time. But that helpful video that I did has all the websites that I recommend. Now, yes, if you're studying for your certification, or if you are done with your certification and you still want to continue to study, these are good things to read. It does break down the different things. CMS.gov. I cannot stress that one enough. It has the Medicare Learning Network. And yes, it does not matter if you're not going to be a medical biller. I have never been a medical biller, but I'll tell you what, I have gone to the Medicare Learning Network because so many insurance companies follow after what CMS says. So much of the guidelines that get put out is put out by CMS. That's the one you want to look at. That's the one you want to learn from. Okay. So read from the Medicare Learning Network because it's all free. It is a free resource. And all you have to do is just download. And you can even download the ICD-10 guidelines as well. Okay. If you don't have your books yet, download the ICD-10 guidelines from the internet. Just put in ICD-10 guidelines and it'll pull it up. Now, do this, and I'm telling you guys to do this because I want you guys to get into the habit of learning how to find your resources. That's why I'm not going to put all the resources on here. I'm going to tell you about them, and I'm going to put some, but I want you guys to get into that good habit of learning how to find your resources. Sometimes people just want things to be handed to them. You can't do that, especially when you become a medical coder, and it may sound like, oh gosh, really? She's not helping me? Yeah, I am helping you. Because you know that whole thing about teach a man to fish, you feed him for a lifetime? It's the same thing. I'm telling you guys where to find these resources. Go to that website or go to this website and find it. And that way you can get it and get it going. But yes, download those ICD-10 guidelines and read the guidelines. And even if it doesn't make sense to you and you're just starting out, it doesn't make sense, it's fine. Do you know why? because it's already going to start planting that seed. You don't understand what the heck it means. It's fine. Keep reading. I totally recommend doing that. When I was in school, I got a evaluation and management book. Now, my evaluation and management book from back then is totally outdated. It is completely outdated. So the best thing that you can do is when you are in school and you are practicing for your exam or whatever, if you have not had the chance to read the entire book that they give you covering evaluation and management. I mean, literally read that book cover to cover. Now, this may seem like an incredible feat, and you're like, why the heck would I do that? I'm telling you, I did it for my book, and I was the only one to pass that section. When I was in school, they were telling me, you know, we have quite a few people who keep failing the evaluation and management section. We have not seen somebody pass it in quite a while. We're telling you this is where people start getting stuck, so you're going to have to spend a little bit more time studying it. And I said, mess on that. I'm not going to not pass this the first time. So I literally said, I'm going to read it cover to cover. And a lot of the girls that were in my study group asked me, well, we don't have to do that. We only have to do the sections that they tell us to. If you only do the bare minimum, you're going to get bare minimum results. When you start doing things that are that extra mile, which to me, reading the entire book from cover to cover was going the extra mile. That book was like 350 pages. It was something ridiculously stupid. It was a thick book. And I read it. I read every last word. And you know what? I'm really good at evaluation and management. Even still. Guys, you have to go that extra mile. And whenever they send you your books, if you're still in school, read the entire book. When you are, whatever topic it is, read it from cover to cover. Doesn't matter what it is. Okay? And you may think, oh gosh, really? Trust me. The time that you're spending doing all of this reading, it's going to be so much easier for you when you get out or when you're sitting there taking your credential exam. Do you know why? Because you've trained yourself this whole time to start reading progressively faster. And because time is of the essence when you are taking these credential exams, you really do need to work on your speed. And I know I keep harping on that speed, but I'm telling you, I think that's where a lot of people get hung up. And they say, well, you know, I took too much time reading this, or I took too much time reading that. And that's the thing. You have to work on your self-confidence when it comes to knowing that you know what you're doing. And you may feel like you don't know. And you may feel like, oh my gosh, I'm in over my head. You have to believe in yourself. I can give you guys as much motivation as I possibly can. But at the end of the day, the only one that's going to be sitting in that chair doing that exam is you. And you have to be the one to say, yes, I can do this. Okay, and don't be so scared. It's really, once you get out of this part, out of the studying part, it's going to be so amazing. Okay, but really be careful about who you are surrounding yourself with when it comes to studying. You want people that are like-minded like you. Do not go to the Facebook medical coding groups to seek out study partners. Don't do it. You're better off on your own. Now, there's maybe people that say, well, Blue, I met a lot of nice... No. There's too many people that I have heard of that have had such horrible experiences. And there are some people who literally gave up being a medical coder because they wanted to be a medical coder, but they gave up because they were in those Facebook medical coding groups. I'm telling you, you're better off by yourself. You're better off trying to learn on your own. Okay. But if you have somebody that's in your study group or something, or in your class that you can link up with and do the studying, then by all means go for it. Okay. But that's what it is. It's going to take discipline, and it's going to take a lot of hard work, and it's just temporary. So if you have to spend a little time away from your family, I'm telling you right now, it is only temporary. Do not let that stop you from wanting to do something good for yourself. Okay. Let's see what else. That is my biggest thing, is those flashcards and reading those books from cover to cover. And I know it's basic. I know it's basic, but I'm telling you guys, that's at the end of the day, that's what it is. And practicing and getting faster when you're looking stuff up in the book, that is really key. Okay, so work on your speed and work on your understanding of medical terminology. That's really huge too. Okay, I'm gonna leave that link for those websites, but I'm telling you guys, go to the CMS website and look for the Medicare Learning Network. For both medical coding associations, for their credential exams, both of them have a list of recommended resources for study. AHIMA has it. I haven't really looked into AAPC, but I know AHIMA has it for their credential exams. Go to the website, look at the recommended resources, and try to find them, okay? There are different books, different titles, and things like that. But if they're telling you, hey, use this as a resource to study, listen to them. They're the ones that are administering the exams. If they're telling you this is a recommended study resource, go for it. That's what you want to look for. Okay? So don't ask, just go to the website and look, okay? Because it is there. All right. And like I said, if you're going for the CPC, it's fine. If you find a CCS practice exam book and you can't find anything else, fine, work on that, because at least this way you can just use those scenarios to drill on. Okay. The key is trying to increase your speed and increase your efficiency when you're looking through those things and giving yourself those mock test exams. Somebody suggested, a viewer suggested that to break it up into 30-minute sections and divide the questions, the total amount of questions, into 30-minute sections, and then just break it down that way and see if it's easier for you that way. I mean, that'll work too, so do that and just work it from there. But a lot of it is going to be up here, and a lot of it is going to be that discipline, and you have to have that discipline. Okay. So, yeah, I need to hurry up. Yeah, I need to hurry up. But tomorrow, I'm going to be demonstrating how to write out the flashcards and showing you guys some of the books that I use and some of the books that I have. And some of these books are old, but I'm going to show you them anyway tomorrow. One other thing before I wrap it up, I do have a Patreon channel. Now, Patreon is a subscription channel that you can subscribe to every month. You give pledges. Pledges start out at $1 per month. And I do separate videos over there that are not included on YouTube. If I specifically say this is a Patreon exclusive, that's when it's Patreon only. But when I'm advertising my shows and things like that, it's for YouTube. I will never just tease you guys and say, oh yeah, I have a video on sequencing, and then it's not here, it's on, Patreon. No, I won't do that to you guys. I will let you know this is a Patreon exclusive. If you're interested in joining me on Patreon, then, you can join me there. Pledges start out at $1. I have levels that include one-on-one tutoring time via Zoom. So this way we can be interactive, and it's very reasonable. And it includes all of the other episodes that I talk about. And I do talk about different topics when it comes to medical coding. And I will be doing more quizzes on there. I haven't done it yet, but I am going to do it. And then I talk about my personal life on there. So if you're interested in that, that is where I do all of that. So, but yes, I will never not, do something for YouTube, but everything that's on Patreon, it stays exclusive. Okay. So I don't discuss there here. Okay. And that's just for exclusivity, because I think that if you're paying, that you deserve that. Okay. But like I said, I started out with no money before either. So trust me, I know. That's why I share my knowledge, and I never ask you guys for anything, okay? The only reason why I did Patreon was because it was a viewer request to do Patreon. So I said, okay, I mean, who am I to fuss, okay? So, but yeah, so that's it. But I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this one up. But I'm looking forward to tomorrow because I'm gonna have the whiteboard set up, and we'll be able to do all that there. But yes, if it's something that's new and it's not something that you're doing to study, and I'm suggesting something that's new to you, just go with it and don't fight it. Just try it. You don't have nothing to lose with these tips. Nothing. Okay? I'm just saying. All right, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. So I will see y'all tomorrow. But if this video helps you, I hope you'll share it. And if you are a medical coder, a medical coding student, somebody curious about the fascinating world of medical coding, a provider or a nurse, I invite you to like and subscribe and follow me on my journey in medical coding. I will see y'all on the next video. Bye.